let your soul just rule your mind. Then you would see the beauty within you. You've got time, feel it's not on your side. You've got wisdom that you just denied. You've got soul richer than gold. You've got fortune about to explode. Days are long, filling you with strength. 'Cause you work so hard trying to get her there. If you could see the things I see in you, then you could change your twisted point of view. Take it all in stride, let your soul just rule your mind. Then you would see the beauty within you. Within you. You could see. You've got so much love around you. I'm here to show you that this love has found you. You got so much love within you. I'm here to show you that this love won't quit you. You could see the love I see in you. You could see the love I see in you. You could see the love I see.
Green works. Okay. So, want to introduce myself. My name is Elizabeth Longo. I'll be... Maybe not. Okay. Would you guys stand up where you are? We're going to get things started here. And this song is called Ocean of Love. And it's about how we're all surrounded in this peace and grace. And this came to me as kind of a meditative lyrics, but the music turned out to be like a 60s retro tune. So I'm going to get you... So basically, you're going to sing with me, Surrounded in an Ocean of Love, and that'll keep repeating. So can I get you rock to your right and clap, left, clap, right, clap, left. Surrounded in an ocean of love. Sing that with me. Surrounded in an ocean of love. See if I got the right key. Surrounded in an ocean of love. Let me hear you. Surrounded in an ocean of love. We are surrounded. Look around the room, smiles on every face. You can feel the peace, you can feel the grace. We are all in motion, some things are apart, but life is working out. You can feel it in your heart. Sing with me. Surrounded in an ocean of love. I know we are surrounded in an ocean of love. Surrounded in an ocean of love. I feel your heart. Surrounded in an ocean of love. We are surrounded. resting in the arms of angels we just met. I can feel the weight is lifting if I only let it. Now I have a sense of how this life can be. I want to take this freedom home, so I'll take it home in me. So sing with me. Surrounded in an ocean of love. I know we are surrounded in an ocean of love. Surrounded in an ocean of love. I feel your heart. Surrounded in an ocean of love. We are surrounded. Thank you. Thanks.
Do y'all remember him from a few months ago when he was here? Isn't he awesome? It's so
Thank
nice.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's so nice to have him back again, and thank you, Charlie, for
Thanks.
being with us. And he informs me his name is Thweatt and not Tweet, so I think that's pretty funny considering he's going to be doing a talk today on living in connection. Are you on God's Wi-Fi? So I guess he's going to make that all work for everybody. So anyway, that should be very interesting. So do we have any? We don't have anything. Oh, nobody told me that. Okay. All right, so we're going to wing it. All right? Is that okay? I think I've done that most of my life. How about you? All right, is everybody ready for the solar eclipse tomorrow? All right. So I don't know if many of you know, but our leader, Scott, went up to Indiana to see the totality of it, so we'll get a nice report from him. But we know that this is all God's inspiration, isn't it, in kind of helping us change and move forward. So I think that's a great thing. All right, so we like to start the service by saying our mission statement, and for those of you who don't know what it is, I'll lead you in it. It is Unity of Sarasota is a beacon of light and love, opening minds, touching hearts, and transforming minds. So we know that what this really means is that we are an inclusive spiritual community that embraces empowering and life-affirming practical spirituality for richer living now. So we all, while we're here at this service, join with Unity Worldwide in creating a world that works for all, don't we? That's what we plan to do, yes. So wherever you are in your journey, we certainly welcome you here at Unity to take that spiritual journey with us. So now it's time for guests. So do we have any guests today? Oh, we have this lovely lady over here. Would you like to stand and tell us your name and where you're from? Oh, you're here from a long way. Thank you. Well, continue standing because Sam is going to bring you a little present. We have this wonderful necklace that talks about the oneness of all of us. And then there's also a little packet in there that if you would like to fill that out, we can keep in touch with you. And we like to at least put you on our email list so you know what's going on here. And then we have this lovely lady over here. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh. Well, welcome. And Sam's going to bring you your gift, and please register for us. That would be great. Oh, this is your first time? How come you're not standing up? Well, this is a beautiful family. Thank you for coming in today. Can we have your names, please? Oh, okay. Well, thank you for being here, and we appreciate your being brave and standing up in front of all of us. Thank you. And do fill out that form for us, and then we got this other gentleman back here. What's your name, sir?
My name's Larry.
Hi, Larry.
And I accompanied Charley on the way down.
Oh.
I'm sure he got on here.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good thing. Sometimes we need a chaperone, don't we? Thank you. So you will get your necklace and everything, so thank you, Charley, for being here. And I don't know if everybody knows this, but we're fortunate enough to live stream. Are we live streaming today? We are. We're doing that. Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad technology is working somewhat. So we are live streaming, so there are people at home who are watching this service. And what we're going to do is just wave to them and just say thank you. And I don't know if any of you ever go back and listen to the service, but you can do that on, what is it? It's unity.org or something, unityofsarasota.org. So you can do that. So if you miss a service or if you want to, something spoke to you and you want to listen to it again, you can go back and do that. So that's a nice thing that was one of the things that happened because of COVID, right? All right. Now, Cheryl has said she wants to come up and talk to everybody a little bit about Sunday school. So come on up.
Not a lot, but Betty wanted me to start doing this too. Well, we're in Sunday school for this month. The power of the month is love, divine love. We are focusing on Earth Day and different activities around that. And I wrote a children's book years ago that I've been using about prayer, meditation, and using our co-creative power of love to manifest what we want, our dreams. Mine was a farm. And
She has her costume on today.
Earth Day is my day. That's my favorite holiday in the world. In fact, my grandson was born on Earth Day. So, hey, thank you. And his name is Will, which is one of our 12 powers. And at the end of the month, we're doing a special event on the 27th. And you're all invited to come and enjoy our grounds and create a work of art that will be displayed in the month of May in our wonderful art gallery. And our theme for every single Sunday will be creating an object, and of course, in Sunday school. And that, I believe, is that. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. So normally I don't get to do announcements, but today I do because Betty's not here. We all miss her, right? Yeah. Say hi to Betty. We know that she's thinking about it. I think she and Elizabeth are actually together at some sort of a workshop that they're all doing together. So they're probably thinking about us right now. So let's think about them, some good thoughts, and know that we're going to be seeing Elizabeth soon. So today is birthday Sunday, and you know what's good about that? There's cake, and today we even have pie. So please join us in Fellowship Hall. And do we have anybody here who has a birthday? We're not going to make you sing. We're just going to have you stand up. All right. And we'll all wish him happy birthday, right? So I want you all to work with your community here at Unity in getting the word out that Elizabeth's first Sunday is next Sunday. Are we ready for that? Yay! Yeah, she's going to be here, and I think it's going to be a very special day for us. I'm president of your board, and I know we're going to be doing some special things for her because this is a very monumental time in this congregation because we're doing a big change. Anytime you invest in a new minister, you're doing that. So we feel like we've made the right choice. You guys feel like we've made the right choice? Yay! So get some people here so we can show her support of how happy we are that she's here in Sarasota because she's moving from Miami, believe it or not. And she's moving in the midst of kind of a difficult time over there because she owns a condo in one of those buildings you can't sell because of what's going on. So she's willing to move forward and do that even though it's not an easy time. So we're going to give her lots of love and blessings for being here with us. So Pat Clark, I don't know who Pat Clark is. Is Pat Clark here? I'm sorry if I don't know who you are, but anyway, she is a licensed Unity teacher, and she's going to hold 3 classes on basic Unity principles. And if you haven't taken a class on basic Unity principles, I highly recommend you do it because, you know, it's good to really know what our church is about and what the foundation is. So she's going to be doing a class on Tuesday, April 25th, May the 2nd, May the 9th, and it's going to be from 2 to 9. Now, there's going to be a love offering, but 2 to 4, sorry. Yeah. Where are my glasses? Anyway, 2 to 4, it's going to be a $20 love offering. But just so you know, if for some reason that doesn't work with you, nobody will be turned away. So we want as many members as we can possibly have of Unity of Sarasota. So please join us with that. Now, for those of you who don't know it, do you all know that we have a labyrinth back there? Okay. Well, there is. There's a wonderful labyrinth. And on May 4th, that is World Labyrinth Day. And Reverend Elizabeth is going to be at Unity Village at that time from May 2nd to the 5th. And she's going to be doing a retreat called Find Your Center with Reverend Mark Fuss. And it's going to include many labyrinth walks, silent contemplation, and spiritual reflection. And believe it or not, you can actually register and go to that if you want to go to Unity Village and visit with Elizabeth. Now, the next thing is the second Friday night movie has been canceled. I'm sorry. But they have canceled it, but Carol Barcelo is still on, and she's going to be the third Friday. So please come and join her. She's going to do 7 for charades to chakras. So I'm sure that's going to be interesting because Carol is always interesting and has some fun things to share with us. And then, here's the thing. You guys, you don't even know this, but we're having something really special going on that Cheryl was talking about. This is a world event, and it is called Remake Learning Days. And I have a book this thick of all the events that are going on around the world that have to do with this. This is a really big deal, you guys. And we are so lucky we're going to be able to have a piece of it here at Unity. So, she's going to be in the fellowship hall, and she's going to explain some of this because it's a bit overwhelming even for those of us who know something about it because it's such a big deal. So it's going to be April 27th from 10 to 2, so mark that on your calendar, okay? And then the last one, yay, right? Rise Up to Your Best Self, an inspirational talk by Julie Rosenheim, which is happening Saturday the 14th of April from 7 to 9. And it's a $10 love offering. So you want to come and check that out too. So I think that's all I'm supposed to do, right? I think I get to turn it over to Charley now, and I have to go to work. Can you believe that? I have to go to work, so I can't stay. But anyway, you all have fun. Enjoy Charley. And I'll see you next week with Elizabeth's first time, okay?
In the beginning, there was God, and God is all there was. Then we divided up. Yet we're still one because we go together. We go together. We go together as one. You sing that? We go together, we go together, we go together as one. So much love we have all known. This journey through all time, though someone still might feel alone, no one's left Sing with me. We go together. We go together. We go together as one. We go together. We go together. We go together as one. As I reach into all being, you are all a part of me. We can't fly without each other. When we get this, we'll be free. We go together. We go together. We go together as one. We go together. We go together. We go together as one. We go together. Thank you. Thanks. So, I think I'm doing this. I think Sam is filling in a little bit later, but I think he just left the room. So, oh, there you are. Well, I'll just do this. I'm here. Please join me in reading our statement of being, which you can imagine on the screen. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, who is perfect life, perfect intelligence, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. You are an individualized expression of God. We are an individualized expression of God. All right. When you sing your song, there's a power in the wind that will sail you home to the peace you know within. When you sing your song, all of nature will join in to bless you in your mission here on earth, to help you in your service here on earth. When you sing your song, you can feel the rising tide, lifting all things up, and there's nowhere left to hide. When you sing your song, you become alive inside, to bless you in your mission here on earth, to help you in your service here on earth. So you ask the rising tide and the power in the winds, and you know that there's no way you could ever fail. And you call upon your heart God who lives within, and know that there's no way you could ever fail. You know that there's no way you could ever fail. When you sing your song, there's a power in the wind that will sail you home to the peace you know within. When you sing your song, all of nature will join in to bless you in your mission here on earth, to help you in your service here on earth. La da 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 da, la da 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 da. Thank you. Thanks. My talk today, as Susan mentioned, it's called Living in Connection. Subtitle, Are You on God's Wi-Fi? Living in Connection, Are You on God's Wi-Fi? And I want to look at three different areas where we do connect to that kind of God level. And each of these areas I'm going to give a little subtitle. So the first area I want to look at is connection with self. Connection with self. And I want to call that our inner net, okay? That inner connection, our inner net. And how do we deepen that, our connection with our own self, that inner journey? One of the ways that has been powerful for me, and actually that song kind of refers to it, is, when we tap into who we are and what we're bringing into the world, what is it we've come to bring? And sometimes we might feel really on track with that. Other times, like I feel a little bit lost. And for me, my journey was one of loving music from a very early age, and I seemed to show natural talent. However, when I got to college, I decided to get a practical degree. And my degree is in architecture. It's a 5-year degree. It seemed like, I can't make a living as as a musician. And So I kind of got through my 5 years, and there were many nights when I was, you pull a lot of all-nighters in the architecture school, and so I'm out at 3 a.m. looking at the stars thinking, is this it? Is this it? Well, I kind of like this. And I graduated, and I ended up working professionally for 3 years. But still, I can imagine I was sitting in my cubicle, working in a big corporate architecture firm, 4th floor in my cubicle. And I'm sitting there at my drafting board and thinking, what am I doing here? And I swear to you, the architects and engineers walking by, looking in at me, were probably thinking, what is he doing here? I think if you're not in your right place, maybe it shows, other people see it too. So, meanwhile, this music kept bubbling out. I got connected with Unity. They liked the songs I was already writing about my spiritual path. And one thing led to another, to where I got to this point where I said, I can't not do this music. You know that feeling where you can't not do something? It's like, I have to do it. I don't see any way this is going to work, but I'm just going to take a leap. And as I did, with each step, somehow I was covered. There was some way that support showed up, kind of like walking on water. You don't see support. Go for it anyway. And it led to this. And what I'm noticing about that is that there was a level of integrity in going with what was true for me versus what looked logical and normal. In my cubicle, I had my benefits package, my regular paycheck, and I felt like I was dying a slow death. I like to lovingly call it my slow death with benefits. So, and I took that leap, and somehow it worked. And here I am 42 years later, still doing it. It worked. But it was not a get-rich-quick scheme. It was a lot of wealth of the heart and experiences, and what I've gotten being myself is rich. So I invite you to look at where do you feel like you're in integrity and out of integrity. And if each of us is given gifts, what did we come here to do? In the song it said, there's a power in the wind that will sail you home with the peace you know within when you sing your song. So what is your song? And many of us are singing our songs. And what's the next song? Maybe you've done some great, but now it's time for your next chapter. Maybe it was great, now what? I'm not saying you haven't had a good life, but, is there some calling? Is there some vision you've been having? Some inspiration like that you're hearing almost like a voice in your head calling you to some new chapter? And often, hopefully, it has to do with service. How are you helping others in that? How are you uplifting the world in the process of that? So I love that. And integrity, it's not just, tell the truth, don't lie. It's, are you telling the truth to yourself? Are you lining up with who you came to be? And I think a great yardstick for that is, it's actually a title of a book a friend of mine wrote, Alan Cohen, wonderful author. And one of his book titles is, Joy is My Compass. Isn't that great? Joy is my compass. Let joy be your north arrow. If you're not in joy, you're probably not feeling in your power. I'm not saying you have to be happy every minute of the day, but just, the general direction. If you're doing something that's drudgery, you probably don't feel very much in your power. You don't feel connected on that internet to your mission, who you are, what you're here to do next. One of the ways I also connect with myself is, it's kind of simple and obvious, is meditation. Just taking that time within. And I don't follow any particular path or system other than I can't just arrive at it on my own. I close my eyes and say, hello, God. And just sit in silence. And I kind of get to this deeper, kind of this little solid place of peace just to hang out there. And it's not complicated. I've heard a great metaphor about meditation, and just like a visual image. Like imagine you're sitting on the banks of a stream. This little stream, the water's going by. And on the surface of the water, there are these leaves floating on the surface. And you can let that represent your thoughts. So who you are is not your thoughts. You're sitting, you're this place of peace, watching thoughts go by. And often people can't stand meditating because all they're doing is watching thoughts go by. It like drives them crazy. In fact, I have a great quote. I heard this comedian on the radio. He said, Joe Zimmerman, he said, yeah, I've been trying to learn to meditate. I didn't realize that all you do is sit quietly with your eyes closed and worry about everything. Well, that's not really what it is, but what I noticed, and they call it a meditation practice, and I think here's one reason why they might do that, is because you're practicing for real life. You're practicing distinguishing between the chaotic thoughts and who you actually are. You're practicing getting connected on that internet, like who am I and who am I not? And if all you're doing is focusing on just let them go by on the stream, that's not you. You are not your thoughts. Have you ever heard that? You are not your thoughts. Thoughts are there, and who am I? Who's observing the thoughts? Course in Miracles has a great quote. The peace of God. I said, what is it? Okay, I better read it because I've forgotten it. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. And to me, that's pointing to who you are is real and eternal. And chaos and thoughts are just things going by. That's not what's real. What's real is you sitting on the shore while illusions are distracting you. So again, it's a practice of who am I apart from the thoughts. Just don't attach to them. Just let them go by and just be thoughts. The Buddha had a great quote. One of the things I was going to say is that today, in each of these 3 sections, I'm going to bring in dueling quotes from the Buddha and Mark Twain. So we'll see what each of them has to say. So the Buddha had a great quote. Someone asked him, what have you gained from meditation? And he said, nothing. And you could read that 2 different ways. Maybe nothing is the perfect thing. Is instead of all those thoughts, let's just hang out in nothingness. But he also said, nothing. However, let me tell you what I've lost. Anger, anxiety, depression, insecurity, and fear of old age and death. So that's just thoughts going by, all those fears. So that's what he's lost by just finding that place of silence and eternity. Okay. So that's our internet. And I want to move on next to I'm going to call connection with each other. I'll call that the intranet, our intra-connection. And let's see. The song that I did a little earlier, We Go Together, is a great reference to that. I don't know if you caught kind of it's almost like you need mythology to explain the unexplainable. So my little mythology is, in the beginning there was God, and God is all there was. And then God got tired of being all there was. God wanted someone to play with. So God divided up into lots of little pieces, and here we are. All this consciousness in a variety of bodies. That's my little explanation for why I see God in you, and you see God in me. And here we are as spiritual beings in these physical bodies, and we do go together. We're part of this one beautiful universe, and we get to play and interconnect. One of the ways that I went really deep into this is a little experience I did years ago. I walked into a workshop, and it was a free workshop in Aspen, Colorado. They're having a healing arts festival, and the evenings, free little 1-hour workshops. And I remember as soon as I walked in the door, the 2 people leading it, a man and a woman, when I saw a peace in their eyes and a stillness. My first thought was, I want to know what they know. Do you know that feeling? Like, what are they doing? I want to find out more about them. So, they talked and did things, and about halfway through, they said, they led a little workshop exercise. They said, find a partner, turn your chairs where you're facing knee to knee. I didn't know anybody, so some guy and I paired up. And then they said, okay, now for the next 20 minutes, just sit in silence looking in your partner's eyes. And my first thought was, we're going to do what? It's like, what? No. And so I thought, well, I trust them. Okay, I'll do it. And I'm sitting there and just, thinking, oh my God, he can see my soul. I feel so exposed. And my next thought was, what, it's only been 1 minute? There were a lot of leaves going by, let's put it that way. Thought. And maybe for a couple of split seconds, I might have actually had a soul-to-soul connection, like, really seeing the spirit. And then it was over, thank God. And at the end, they said, and if you want to come back, we're doing another workshop in 4 days, another free workshop. I thought, well, I felt drawn. I came back. And as it happened, I ended up doing that exercise many, many, many times over the next few weeks. And I got to this level where I wasn't so much focusing on the leaves going by as I was able to find that place where it's more about the connection, being to being, spirit to spirit, however you want to say it. And eventually, maybe a month or 2 later, we did a marathon on a Saturday, and with the same partner, I did a 20-minute session, quick break, a second set of 20 minutes, same partner, quick break, third set, quick break, a fourth set with the same partner. Somewhere in the middle of that fourth set, we had gotten so merged. This sense of oneness, I couldn't remember which body I was looking out of. It's just like we found that bedrock of who we are, that unity, that place of unity. I mean, it's the name on the building. That's what we're here for, right? And it was life-changing. It doesn't mean I'm walking around and totally enlightened all the time, but I've seen something I can't unsee, and I know something I can't unknow about who we are. And I didn't have to read a stack of books this tall or go to theological school for 4 years. It's just stopping and being with what's already right here. We do go together. We are connected. The intranet. One other thing I'll share is there's a song I wrote, and the lyrics go, "Take your time when you're being with people. What's another minute to you?" And the feeling I get when I hear those lyrics is this kind of picture like I'm at the drugstore. I have 10 errands to get done before noon. I'm on errand number 4. I run into somebody at the drugstore, and they want to talk. I haven't seen them in a year. They want to talk. I'm thinking, I got 6 more errands. Until I stop and I say, wait a second. Did I come to earth to run errands? No, we came to be with each other. When you were up in heaven before you came into this world, were you up there thinking, I can't wait to get to earth to run errands? No, that's not why we're here. Stop and be with each other. We keep finding ourselves in each other. Make this time precious in all that you do. That's the remaining lyrics of that phrase. That's why we're here, to connect. Let's see what... I didn't do my Mark Twain quote from the previous section. He said, and I love this because it takes courage to step into singing your song. He said, with courage you dare to take risks, to have the strength to be compassionate, and the wisdom to be humble. I'm sorry that I didn't get this quote. Courage is the foundation of integrity. So it takes courage to line up with your mission. That's the integrity. Okay, so now on to the next Mark Twain quote for intranet. It says, wisdom is the reward you get for a lifetime of listening when you would rather have talked. Do you know that listening is probably the best communication skill I've ever learned? You're learning when not to talk. So you actually are hearing what the other person is saying. If you're busy preparing your next comment, you're not 100% even hearing them, are you? That's another powerful tool for our intranet, our connection with others, is not preparing your next statement, 100% listening. And even if they stop talking, you don't have to fill the space. Maybe their next important thought is coming to the surface. Let it bubble up. That's a gift. The Buddha said, and this is regarding connection with others, he says, a trusted friend is the best relative. A trusted friend is the best relative, that interconnection we have. Okay, lastly, I want to look at our and that's, the middle one was intranet. The connection with God is the last area I want to look at. And I'm going to call that our internet with an E. We're entering into connection with God, okay? That internet. And for me, the way this shows up the most is listening to guidance. You know, many times we all have that question, you know, God, what would you have me do in this situation? And it's like, what am I going to do? How does help? You know, I remember Alan Cohen saying, the shortest prayer is one word, help. You know, what would you have me do? And listening for that guidance. Have you done that? And sometimes you get an answer or a gut feeling, but you're not sure, and you say, do you have any other answers? You know? I think if you're willing to ask, and if you hear, then maybe be willing to go with the answer that you received. And you might think, well, but maybe I'll end up, stumbling and falling if I go with that answer. Well, you were stumbling and falling anyway. That's why you asked. So maybe have that adventure of holding God's hand and seeing where it leads, at least for a little bit. So guidance. I had an experience with guidance, and it was kind of mind-boggling. This was in the mid-'80s. My girlfriend's name was Rosie. We lived in Houston, but we'd been making a lot of connections in the San Diego area with the Unity churches and other things. So we decided we're going to move to San Diego and find a place to rent and start our lives there. And so we said, we'll drive out and for 3 days, look around, find a rental, come back, and pack up our stuff. So we go out there, we stay with some new friends we'd made, and day one, we couldn't find it. We drove all over, nothing was flowing, couldn't find a rental. Day two, nothing. And day three, nothing. And finally, it was the morning that we were scheduled to drive back to Houston, just thinking, what's going on? Went to bed, what's going on? Why can't we find it? 6 o'clock in the morning on the day we're leaving town, in that kind of half awake, half asleep state, I hear a voice in my ear as clear as a bell, and it says, Maureen has a listing for you. I wake up and go, what just happened? Maureen has a listing for you. Rosie, I just heard a voice. And so we had made a new friend named Maureen. She was a real estate agent in San Diego. So we waited until an appropriate hour, called her at 9 a.m., said, Maureen, you're never going to guess what happened. I just heard a voice that said you have a listing for us. And there was a pause, and she said, well, I mean, I am a real estate agent, but all I do is sell condos to millionaires and movie stars. I don't have rental listings. And we shake our head and think, well, okay, well, thank you. We get in the car, drive back to Houston. We're there a couple of weeks, and I'm thinking, you don't hear a voice and have it be for nothing. So this gut feeling this time, so we got to call Maureen. We call her up. She picks up the phone. She says, you're not going to believe this. I just decided I'm going to move out of my rental, and it sounds like exactly what you're looking for. I'll talk to my landlord and set it up for you. Maureen had a listing for us. It just doesn't, it's not always a straight path, is it? You know, and sometimes you have to keep tuning in with your gut and keep listening. But Maureen has a listing for you. Listening to guidance. Sometimes it's a dance. Is this on and this isn't? Every time I get close to it, well, interesting, okay. So, I'm going to read a quote from the Buddha. In the end, only three things matter. How much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. And we did. We let go, but just kept the gut aware. Just keep listening, keep feeling. It's not always a straight path. Mark Twain had this to say about in the end. He says, I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born, and I had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it. Has nothing to do with the topic, I just like the quote. Okay. So let's wrap this up. You have your internet connection with others, you know, with your soul's joy through knowing your center, through meditation, through following that, you know, what is your song to sing? The intranet, being connected with others through the eyes, through that power of just listening. And then the internet, entering into connection with God by listening to that inner voice and always staying on God's Wi-Fi. Thank you. I'm going to sing a song in a second. I just want to mention I have a table out there if you want to take some of my music home, CDs or thumb drives, like $30 for 18 albums on a thumb drive. Also, I have a couple of different things I'm doing in Italy in the fall, so a 13-day tour of Italy, or who'd like to go to a retreat in Assisi, and then a little mini tour afterwards. So 2 different flyers if you're interested, and thanks so much for having me here. Let's get me on this. Testing, there we go. This is a song I wrote in Italy, and I just gone through a kind of this meditative workshop experience, and I heard a voice. And is anyone else hearing voices more in the second half of your life? And it said, love has always been here for you. Love has always been here for you. And I took that feeling and found my guitar, and this is the song that came through. And I was sitting in a little chapel built in the year 250 AD, tiny little chapel. Through the door, I could see this little windmill. So the windmill worked its way into this song. Love has always been here for you. Feel those arms that wrap around you. Everyone who's ever known you brings a gift that blesses you for life. Deep in your heart, deep in your soul, now you can start. Now you can know. Sing deep in my heart. Deep in my heart, my soul. Deep in my soul. Now I can start. Now I can start. Now I can know. Now I can know. the windmill. You may never see what lifts you still into the heavens, but you will begin to share what's gifted you. Deep in my heart, deep in my heart, deep in my soul. Now I can start, now I can know. Deep in my heart, deep in my soul. Now I can start, now I can know. Sing this. Love has always been here for me. Join me. Love has always been here for me. Love has always been here for me. Once more. Love has always been here for me. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Charlie, we want to thank you for such beautiful music, and also I'll remind you that you can take Charlie's music with you. He has a table out there, so make sure you visit that table with him and pick up something today. All right. Okay, I would like to call the chaplains forward. Will you please come forward? Our chaplains will be available after the service to pray with you or to counsel you or whatever you may require at this time. So as they come forward, they will be located to my left after service and available to you. Also, our tithes and offerings. The ushers will be standing at the rear door or doors with the collection plate. So we do remind you that, am I on here? Thank you. All right, so we do remind you to give generously today and always to our services. And those that give online, we appreciate that. Now, our prayer for protection. I know we don't have the slides, so if you'll stand and repeat after me or with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Now let's sing our unity song, the peace song.
Charlie, sweet, that was sweet. Let's give Charlie another hand. Yes? Let there be